Hi, welcome to Forex and Equity Update. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday, the 3rd of October. Okay, looking at the Euro first. Actually, just before I do that, just a reminder, we've got the course coming up, and I'm not too sure what the cut-off date is for it, but it's on the 14th of October. When I say cut-off date, we need to let the hotel know exact numbers at some point fairly soon. Maybe Friday actually, but I'll need to check with Sam. She's organised it, so just to bear that in mind. That's at Heathrow. That's our final points, the sequel course, and just a reminder, it's covering a number of different points, strategies, one of which I talked about. I did a special update on it, as it's been running quite nicely over the previous couple of weeks, and it's something that it's just a different way of trading slightly, which takes a relatively small amount of time, and you need to check the charts a few times a day, 2 or 3 times depending on what you want to do. So it's quite a simple one, and it's relatively low maintenance once you're trading it, so it can be almost zero maintenance, but the way I trade it, there is some maintenance around it, but good start to this week. I missed Monday's opportunity. Actually, there was a good opportunity which would have done pretty well on Monday, but got a couple of trades in Tuesday and Wednesday. Today's was nice. It was a very small risk, and actually almost got nearly 3 to 1 on the risk. I was only risking around about on this account around about £15 to made 41 on it in the end, so nearly 3 to 1. But it's brought the account up in 2 weeks and 3 days now, up to 5.7, so running nicely. I just said I would update people on how it's going. It's ticking over nicely at the moment, so there we are. Just move that out of the way and get on with the update. As I say, the link to it is on the website. It's the finer points of sequel, so it's on our main website. Okay, let's look at the euro. The euro's actually had a couple of days up here. It's a nice bounce off its monthly pivot now. It's, to me, we'd seen notes coming through from some of the big traders, JP Morgan and co, suggesting that they're buying on the dips. They see some more potential upside on the euro, more upside potential than downside potential at the moment. It came in nicely with the 200 there on Monday. Looked a bit, it was sold off strongly yesterday afternoon, running into the evening through the Asian session. It's had a bit of a recovery at the moment, and it's certainly looking better as you bring it down to the 4-hourly bar, where we've just put this, or we're posting in 45 minutes of this closing. It's got a close on this bar, most likely a bullish engulfing, and with some potential upside to continue maybe through the afternoon. Now there are some key numbers coming out this week, which include today the ADP non-farm payroll figures and the non-manufacturing. So basically that means the services PMI for the US. So it's a key number coming out there at 3 o'clock. I believe that one comes out. 3 o'clock, and the ADP at 1:15 as ever. So 2 key sort of figures coming out today, and of course the non-farm payrolls being the first Friday of the month, so that's also coming out. Now, so key data that could obviously switch this quite significantly either way. It could give it a push upwards with the euro, or we could see a reversal. So it's just to bear in mind, because they are such key numbers. More so Fridays, of course, but what we've done here, I've measured the channel here on this little doobry here, and I would just apply it to the breakout here. We've done at least a 1-to-1 of the channel. You could argue, well, we originally broke here, but we did break back in. But if we were taking the break from there, well, it would still suggest some further upside from that point of view. But for me, the channel's really been done. But as I say, we're setting ourselves up a nice bullish bar here. It's been a bit more bullish over the last couple of days. There's a little bit of hidden divergence. Let me just show you that in terms of where we are. And what I mean by hidden divergence kicking in, so you've got a low here. Actually, no, take that back. It's not a hidden divergence at all. I'll take that back. I just thought this low was slightly less than the previous lows. In fact, it may be lower than slightly less high, slightly higher even than this one, but it doesn't even appear to be so. So my eyes are going weird. I'll come on to that later. But okay, so anyway, looking relatively bullish on this time frame. Looking at 60-minute, it's just above its daily pivot at the moment, hanging in there. Really may see a bit more of a retrace, but I would expect, well, maybe back to this positive, this bullish cross here, may get a pull back into at some point. It's not a million miles away. Now, as I say, it has the chance of the bullish engulfing. If it does that, you see a pull back to here, maybe a sort of buying on this dip, maybe an opportunity to get long. Now, we've had a good trading morning in the room, so we're sitting waiting nicely at the moment for the next clean setup, so this may be one. My bias still is maybe still towards the upside here. Bearing in mind, though, of course, this channel here as well. I looked at the 4-hourly channel, and that's looking one way. You've got this. It's a little bit the opposite, and we haven't seen the complete depth of this channel yet run out. We had a bottom, top, bottom. We didn't really catch another top to give it its full green light in terms of it being a fantastic channel. I prefer them going bottom, top, bottom. Then you get the same sort of level top, and then the depth is more likely to be in full. To the other side, just a slightly higher probability, but this one's just sort of done as I say, bottom, top, bottom, and never quite got up to the same levels there, but all the same, it's the same. My main, I'm still looking at some potential upside on this, more so than downside at the moment. Okay, that's the euro. Looking at cable. Get into cable. I'm just going to switch the windows onto the higher time frames. Let's have a look at the daily first. And from a daily perspective, it's a bit laggy in the euro. It's only just come down to its monthly pivot. It gave us a nice trade earlier on. It's found a bit of support maybe around here from a daily perspective. It's a bit too early, but at the moment it's looking, if it was to close here, which suggests possibly some further upside to come. It's certainly weaker than the euro, and have a few reservations in terms of its potential. Although from a 4-hourly point of view, it is in this descending channel. Hasn't managed to break its, apart from the false breakout here, not really managed to break its channel yet. So there's potential that it could, if it gets a wiggle on, break out of these levels. And most of the 50 where it's been air kissed, 100's been tested. There are some weakish signs here. The sort of lower moving average crossing the higher time frame is always looks to be a sort of confirmation of weakness. So I'm just more wary on cable in terms of longs at the moment. Okay, and just come down one more time frame, and one thing we may well see hit today at some point is this daily pivot. They have a high probability of being touched generally. So there's a potential that we could come up there, but if you look just before it, there's one whole host of resistance levels on the way. So overall, although I think there's some potential for cable, I'm just very wary of the resistance points before it may get to at least one of the targets for later today. Overall, weaker than euro. If it sets up on shorts, I'm more likely to take the shorts on cable at the moment and longs on the euro if they're setting up. The good thing is the correlation's a bit closer together now. If we come to the correlation chart here, this is based on a daily basis. Euro being blue, cable being black. Cable's overall is still slightly stronger on this basis, but as you can see, the euro is actually moving up at the moment as cable's more rolling over, so it's a bit of a catch-up going maybe. They often tend to sit pretty highly correlated here, and we did have some days last week particularly where we saw complete opposites. So you sort of had the cable running up, euro running down, and it doesn't make for me comfortable trading. I like to see things correlated. I like to see the futures correlated. Now the futures and the euro nicely correlated here. Gold's correlated with it, actually even the bonds are at the moment, which is a little bit worrying. I like to see those opposites. So a negative correlation. So the pound is lagging effectively, and it could just whip up there, or the other, it may be the leading indicator. Who knows? Won't try and guess that, but at the moment, some good, reasonable correlation there. Okay, let's just quickly then move on and look. Let's come back to here. Look at the futures, and look at it from a on 4 hours. Let's just have a look at the dailies. So again, it's touching its monthly. It's similar-ish to euros. I say they're correlated quite tightly. From a daily perspective, it's not giving us a lot of clues. We had a bit of a sell-off towards the close yesterday. From a 4-hourly point of view, again, it's putting this bullish engulfing in. It's attempting this 50 again. It's closed above it on a couple of occasions, but never managed to get much above it. There's probably a descending channel line or descending trend running across here. Oops, you need to put it on there, which looks like we're trying to break at the moment. If we can break through that and get through and close, it may signify more upside. At the moment, we've been putting lower highs in and lower lows, which is not really what we want to be seeing if it's going to push up higher. Okay, that's that on from a day. Just going back to daily perspective, we're not a million miles away, and this bounce, if it does happen, it could easily run into the September highs so easily. The ranges have eased off a little bit, and it's consolidating a little bit, so it could easily run up there. One thing I do notice here, also though, just on looking at the weaker side of it, it could be a little bear flag there. So a break of these lows may signify, and this daily 21 may signify further downside, that we've got the 50 below as potential support as well. But with that, it's already been tested back here, although quite often when it's not been tested for a couple of months, it may give another test, but generally it tends to fail, and it may point to somewhere along these lines if it's a one-to-one move, maybe a bit less than that, maybe up here, but there is potential weakness there from a daily perspective. And finally, let's have a quick look at gold. Gold, very, very choppy on a daily perspective. It seems to have reached a sort of just below that 1800 area. Easily could run up all the key moving averages are nicely in line. You've got the 20, the 50, actually the 100's the only one that's lagging a little bit. So that's just crossing. But the key ones that we look at, the 20, 50, and 200, are nicely all lined up here. The only thing I would say here is that there is quite a distance between where price is and its 50. Generally, it's tends to be a little bit closer, so there is a chance from that point of view. And the other key area here is normally it's quite early in the month we see the pivot touched. There's also a high probability of it being touched, so there's a couple of factors that may just bring it down. But this uncertainty in the markets, I think, has helped gold significantly over the last month or two, and it could continue that way for now. Just looking at intraday basis, it's got some potential upside for today anyway. At the moment, so I'll come back to the daily and switch to a 4-hourly just to see what we're doing here. It's a pretty similar picture. In fact, we just put on a bullish pivot swing, sort of sitting in there above its moving averages, although they're pretty flat. It's just this, it's quite range bound really, and it'd be good to see it break out of this range, which it has a chance of doing so. As I say, the only thing it puts me off a little bit is its depth or range, or how far it is away from its key moving averages. But if it can break these highs, well, we could well see 1800 and above hit again. Okay, that's it for me. Hope you have a great week. Kevin will be back on Friday. Bye for now.